Dear students, this is Afsana Awal. Today I will take your work and life oriented education. And students, just look what today's topic is chapter 2, lesson 32 to 36. So let's start our class. Students, look at the board. This is chapter 2, our essential jobs. Now, lesson 32 and 33. Some personal works of our everyday life. We all do some works every day from early in the morning till going to bed at night. Some of this work must be done compulsorily. The work that we do every day ourselves or with the help of others is called the daily work of our life. Just there are some examples of our own work in everyday life. Number 1 is tidy up the bed after getting up in the morning, brush your teeth and wash your face. Then you can write these things also. Number 3, taking our breakfast, wearing school uniform, going to school, coming back home from school, eating lunch, sitting for study, going to sleep. Let's consider the following 2 case studies in order to understand this matter well. Case study 1. Imran is 9 years old. Every morning she gets up early and tidies up his bed. Then he brushes his teeth and washes his face. After having his breakfast, he sits to study. When he finishes study, he prepares himself for the school. So he takes his bath and then goes to school with the next 2 friends. After his school breaks, he comes home and washes his face. Then he has some food and takes some rest. In the afternoon, he goes to play with his friends. He comes back home in the evening and helps his family members in rearing the domestic animals. Next, he goes to study. When he finishes his study, he has his dinner and brushes his teeth. Finally, he makes his bed himself and hangs the mosquito net and goes to sleep. That means this case study is about Imran, who is 9 years old. Now case study 2. Asma is 10 years old. Every morning Asma gets up early and tidies up her bed. Then she brushes her teeth and washes her face. After having her breakfast, she does her homework. After finishing her homework, she makes ready her textbooks and notebooks in her bag and goes to school. After having a shower, she gets properly dressed and then goes to the school with her neighboring classmates. When her school breaks, she comes back home, washes her face, has some food and then takes some rest. In the afternoon, she plays with her friends who live near her. In the evening, she comes back home, helps her family members in some household chores. Then she washes her face and goes to study. When she finishes her study, she has her dinner and brushes her teeth. Finally, she makes her own bed and goes to sleep. If you notice carefully, you will see that both Imran and Asma are doing the same sorts of work. Both Asma and Imran tidy up their beds in the morning, do their study, finish their homeworks, get ready for school, take their bath, dress themselves, take rest after getting back home, go to play with their friends, return home soon in the evening, help their family members in some household chores, then wash their faces and do their study, do their homework, have their dinner, brush their teeth again and finally make their beds themselves and go to sleep. Similarly, your parents do their own work every day. Your mother tidies up the rooms, cooks food, works at office, helps you in your study and does other household chores. Your father goes to office or works in the field, goes to the market, helps your mother in her work and does other household chores. This way everybody does his or her own work every day. These are their own activities in daily life. Everybody has got such works that must be done every day. Okay, so from these 2 cases you can understand that we should do we should do our works properly and we should do by ourselves. Now lesson 34, I will do my own work myself. It is good to do one's own work. You can get pleasure if you do your own work yourself and you can take pride in it. Those who do their own work themselves, they can gain success in their life. So do the work possible for yourself to do and take the help of your parents, brother, sister or others for the work you feel needed. If you do your own work yourself, you will get many advantages. For example, students, I will just mention the points only, that doing the work properly. Okay, that means if you do your own work yourself, you can do the work properly. Workload is reduced. It makes you more skilled and get prepared for other works. It keeps you healthy. It boosts your self-confidence, enthusiasm and encouragement. It reduces dependence on others. You will benefit financially. So these are the advantages of doing the work yourself. And on the other hand, one has to face many difficulties if one does not do one's own works and many problems arise. That means the problems if you don't do your work yourself, then what's the problems that you have to face? There is a fear of mistake. One cannot be skilled. Illness, self-confidence is decreased. Dependence on others. Financial loss. That means if you do not work the works by yourself, then you will face these problems. Now lesson 35, I will do my own work myself. Let's write the advantages of doing our work ourselves and disadvantages of not doing our work ourselves. Arrange my school bag myself. This is figure, clean my clothes myself. Okay, that means just look, there the two types of columns here. The advantages of doing our works ourselves. We have already discussed about that. That means if we do our works ourselves, then what are the advantages? So we have already discussed about that. The first one is done for you. It increases self-confidence, curiosity and inspiration. Then you can write that workload is reduced. It makes you more skilled and get prepared for other work. Then it keeps you healthy. Then also it boosts your self-confidence. So self-confidence is already given. You will be healthy. Okay, and also you will get some pleasure by doing your work yourself. And the disadvantages of not doing the works ourselves. You can also collect this informations from the previous lesson that we have already discussed. Now go to the next page. Read the following story attentively. It is a story of about 500 years ago. One day an envoy from another kingdom came to the court of the king for a special purpose. The envoy could not see the king and asked one of the king's men. The courtman informed him that the king would go out to visit his kingdom in a while, so he was completing all his works. The envoy thought that the courtman might be joking with him. Why would the king do the work himself? Was it really true? Why would he do his work himself as he had so many servants? Saying nothing more, he was waiting for the king. But the envoy had little time, so he kept pleading to meet the king. Later, a guard took him to the king's private room. The envoy was astonished, but when he entered the room, he saw that the king was sewing his own cloth himself. The envoy was wondered. He greeted the king. After exchanging the greetings, the king had the important discussion with the envoy beside doing his own work. To his surprise, the envoy saw that after sewing his clothes, the king mended his shoes and then cleaned them. Then he well clad himself and took his horse out of the stable to visit his kingdom. After meeting the king, the envoy went out from the palace. The royal envoy still could not believe himself. He could not understand why, being the owner of this vast kingdom, the most powerful king, would do this work himself. Do you know who this king was? He was the Emperor Aurangzeb, a noble-hearted ruler. You might have heard his name. He was the emperor of the Mughal Empire. He was famous for his generosity, affection, and justice for his subject and justice. In this realm, people lived a happy and peaceful life. Despite having so many servants, he always used to do his own work. There is another story. Students, here the spelling is wrong. There is another story. It will be T-H-E-R-A. Okay, so the spelling is wrong here. One day, Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala who went to a distant place for a work of his state. He sat on the back of a camel. His fellow traveler, a servant, went on foot pulling the rope of the camel. It was a very difficult work. After some time, Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala who made the servant sit on the camel's back and he himself pulled the rope. Hazrat radiallahu ta'ala who sat on camel's back one time and the servant sat on the camel's back one time by turns. In such a way they reached their destination. Everybody was astonished seeing that Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala who believed that if he imposed the hard work on only servant, it would be injustice to him. So he divided the work and took half himself and gave the servant the other half. If any work is done in such a way, a cordial relation is made between the master and the servant, and excess pressure of work is not imposed on anybody alone. Okay, students, just look, in this lesson we have learned two stories, and both stories shows that the king and Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala who are two great men, they also just did their work themselves. Okay, now lesson 36. We will be successful in our work. The success of any work depends on doing the work properly. You will surely be successful if you do the work lawfully and attentively. You will succeed easily if you keep the following things in your mind. That means for being successful, you have to follow some things, and that is work with eagerness and self-confidence, to do the work on time, to do work in proper way, to do the work step by step, avoid getting the work done by others, take the senior's advice to do new and complicated works, not to suffer from shyness or inferiority complex. Make a working team, make an effort and don't be disappointed. So these are the key to success. Okay, students, that's all for today. Allah Hafiz.